Today, we are talking about why men and women talk different and how that causes so many conflicts. Because there's a huge disconnect, there's like such a gap. And I realized this week doing my private sessions, it kept being this theme. And I was like, oh my God, we got to talk about this. When you were a child, if you really wanted to be seen as a good man, what did you think you had to be? Like, what were the qualities that you had to have? What were they? Okay, already looking at these, do you see if this person and this person were together, how absolutely zero things would be resolved? Do you see it already? Like, just look at the friggin' list. It's already there. Neither of us are allowed to have needs, which means if I dare to have a need, both of us are going to feel a lot of shame about that. And we're going to be like really resistant to it. This is such bullshit. This is telling you stop being a human, stop being your own person in your own life, start being somebody else's better side character. Maybe if you're good enough, you'll get the role of being somebody else's strong second. How dare you believe you might be a first? Not just women, men are getting told that too. There's a reason that in arguments, the person who says logic the more often is the one who is trained to be a good man. Subconsciously, what they are doing in that argument is saying, you're being emotional. I'm being logical. When I'm logical, you should love me. That's why they do the logic thing. I know it looks like, and even in the conversation work, I want to be right though. Yeah, why do you want to be right? Because if you're logically right, where's the word logic? If you're logically right, then you're lovable again. We don't actually care about being right. We care about being loved. And especially men, we're taught you're only loved if you're right. So you better not be wrong, because then they'll diss you. Then they'll lose you. Then they'll leave you. And for women who are much more often willing to be the wrong one in the conversation, they just want to be seen because they weren't as frequently taught to be logical, to be loved. They be submissive. Typically, women are taught to, and notice I'm not talking about sexuality. I'm talking about the way our culture trains us to stop being ourselves and instead be one of these advertisement roles. Women enter in going, I have a feeling and I just want to feel not crazy in it. I want to feel not alone in it. And the man goes, but I did nothing wrong. Still love me. If you were taught to be a man. And so men will think a woman saying, I have a feeling is a woman criticizing them and saying you've done something wrong. Do you see what I'm like? It just vicious cycle away. So screw this. Hate this. Hate it. Hate it. Hate it. Hate it. This is a really common one. And this is one of the things I wanted to say. Men were taught to talk in sentences. Women were taught to talk in questions. So this is like a key. Provide, protect, fix, have the answers, logical, unemotional. None of those say speak gently and ask a question. It's just you say the thing. And then if somebody has something to say, they'll say something back. Women were taught be gentle, be submissive, to be a good woman. To be clear, 'cause some of us women were taught to be good men. And then there's a whole battle inside of us on which one we're supposed to be today. And probably same for men to some degree, although most men were taught the worst thing to be as a woman. But women, to be a good woman, were taught asking questions. Talking questions, be gentle, make sure they actually want to hear you. Don't be too much. Make sure you make sense. So when men and women are talking in whatever context, often women are like, screw these men. They're not curious. They don't ask a dang question. They don't care about anyone. What's wrong with them? And the men are like, yeesh, they're so emotional. They always criticize me. They say I'm doing something wrong. I don't know what even it is. Yeah, because women are like, okay, here's the question, the way I was taught to ask. And men are like, don't ask a question. You don't want to look stupid. I'm open to suggestions and I'm open to thoughts. If you have one, you will tell me, period. It's really vulnerable for a lot of men to ask questions because they were taught to be a good man. You got to know shit. You got to be the smart one. And that causes a lot of problems because then women are like, well, I want to talk with you. And men on some level, they don't even realize if you were really trained to be good men, then if a woman is coming back, you're like, don't disrespect me. Dan and I had this early on. We were dating and he was talking about something from IKEA, I think. And we were walking down the sidewalk and I was like, I don't know. I don't think that really makes sense with this thing, that with our goal. And Dan was so mad and it was really confusing. He was like, he's like muttering. And I was like, what just happened? I feel like we were just trying to have a conversation about ideas. And I said, hey, I don't know why we're doing that. What about this? And then you got mad. What did it feel like? Did it feel like I was disrespecting you? He was like, I mean, yeah. I was like, well, then that's not going to work for me. That's not how I want to do this. I want to have an opinion. I want to talk to you. What did you think? Do you think I was dissing you or what? And he had this like, it was really, it was, his face looked like this. Oh, oh no. He had this whole breakdown moment of like, oh my God, I was taught. And then we had a whole conversation about this. I was taught you don't love and respect me if you respond with your own question or opinion, especially a question. The question why is he's like, ah, see, I knew it. You're saying I'm stupid or I didn't think of everything. We're unwinding that actively still. It's constantly progressing. But of course, because he was raised to be a good man. And if I question him, that's me questioning him, not me being a partner. And the decision, this is why when I talk about expectations, I'm like, we were all taught expectations that we don't even know we have in us. He expected the person who loved him, the wife who loved him, would be a good little wife. And he had no idea he had that expectation. You have no idea. He wanted to vomit when he realized because he's so like loves women, loves partnership, loves it. And when he had that moment, I remember he was like, "Oh my God, I can't believe it! I can't believe who put that in my brain? This is awful. I want this out." Which also we have to have grace for because there are things like that for me too, where I won't let him see my needs. I won't let him see my feelings because I want to be a good woman. I want to just be there for him and support his. And there are times where I go, it's okay. I'll just hire somebody. I'll figure out a way to pay for somebody to listen to me because you shouldn't have to do that. And Dan has literally gone, that's the whole point. Give me a chance. Give me a chance. I'm like, damn it. I thought a good woman would never put her emotions on her man. I didn't even know I believed that. Shoot. So they're just like seated in there. And learning how you naturally talk is so helpful because it doesn't mean you have to stop talking that way. Men, you have to stop talking in sentences. And women, you have to stop talking in questions. No, it's like, oh, I know where that comes from now. And instead of going, here's my assumption of what you mean, instead going, that landed like this on me. What was your actual intention? Because I know you care about me. What did you want to happen? The curiosity, man, cures all.